Hi everyone, this is Rebecca from Chemnitz, and I am here today to test my new webcam. And in some of my tests, I was having some audio video sync issues, so please give me feedback on how everything is working. But while testing these features and to see how the scheduling events works from the web browser versus my phone, I thought that we would cake this yarn that I dyed with my 4-year-old, and this came out in this morning's video. So we dyed this Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted weight yarn with some sprinkles. And so we've got this really, really cool speckled yarn. I'll just give another view of the yarn, and oh, there we go with focus. So we've got the really, really nice yarn, and I wanted to give this yarn to one of my son's teachers. But I figured that it would be worth caking it first versus giving the skein in case she doesn't have a ball winder. And now I can see some comments coming in. Looks and sounds great. Awesome. I'm glad that things seem to be working correctly. The whole setup right now is a little different from what I'm used to. So I'm now checking. Are you working correctly? Oh no. Haha, okay, see, I checked and my sound was on. But it looks like I'm working, it was working with the event page and stuff as well, and hopefully it was not frozen and doing that. I'm sorry that there was probably horrible feedback there for a moment. Hopefully things are working. But I think that with the new setup, you might also be able to DVR things. And so you might be able to pause and come back in the stream, which could be handy for you. So anyway, this is my lovely Yarn Swift. I'm not sure where this one came from. I know Knit Picks does sell some, as do a lot of other sites, but this one I got as a gift from Keith many years ago. But I like it. Now my ball winder is right here. And okay, the problem with being able, if I'm able to see the chat, then, I'm sorry, we've had a lot of snow. There are people snow blowing outside. The dog is upset. And I'm just trying to figure out if I can see the video, then I can't see the chat. So I'm trying to figure all this out right now. My Swift is actually just on a stool. So it is an umbrella Swift. And all right, I need to bring up the real-time camera so I can see what's going on. Okay, so it's just on a stool. It connects, and you can do a table or something as well. But I find that pretty handy. And so the ball winder is just the standard, I think about $20 one that Knit Picks sells. And I've had it for years, and I've been really, really happy with it. And I don't actually have a link to that in the video description, but I do have my affiliate link to the Bear yarn, the Bear Wool of the Andes yarn that we dyed in the video that came out this morning. So now let's snip these knots, and yeah, I'm going to have some issues with this, aren't I? Because if you watch the video from this morning, you could see that Lucas may have tangled things up a bit for me when he was throwing the yarn around. But we'll see how, oh dear, badly, just testing. Okay, actually that might not be so bad. So now I'll start trying to wind it. Yes, but please let me know. Yeah, and I'm really interested to know how this quality compares to the quality from my cell phone. Oh, he is very, very cute. It just might be that this might not unwind super easily. But I think that one of the teachers at his school will really appreciate some yarn that he dyed himself. So I thought that would be really, really nice. Your dogs are barking at my dogs? Oh, I'm so sorry. I know watching me wind yarn isn't the most exciting thing that you've ever seen me do, but I know that people usually like to see when I am able to show the caked yarn. I know people really like to see that. So I thought that this would be worth it for the end result. Yeah, I'll just have to figure out where to watch and stuff, because when I'm filming with my cell phone, I can see myself in real time on the phone, and then I use my laptop to see the comments. But with this, the laptop is doing everything, and so that makes things a little bit harder because I can't see. Oh, yeah, and here's where I've got an issue. See if I can do something. Yeah, I could tell that there were going to be some snags in here. All right, let's see. Now we can watch me untangle some knots. Hooray, hooray. Seeing if I can correct this off. Oh gosh, you guys. Oh man. I'm just gonna see if I could just quickly transfer some of these over, but it looks like I might be making a larger mess out of things. Normally it goes smoothly. It's just when your 4-year-old decides to turn the yarn into scarves and stuff, things get a little twisted. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster. Let's see if I can. All right. So I've now got the tank. I just need to undo all of this stuff in the middle. And if I can deal with that, then I'm fine. But we'll see about if I need to just bring my stool through things. Oh gosh, you guys. Oh, I had some issues with the wheel last night in the live stream too, and so I thought that I'm amused right now that you guys are getting to watch me deal with tangles. My dyed yarn always gets tangled. Normally it's fine, or I'm able to have it be pretty good. I just didn't check it very carefully before I put it on the Swift, and then noticed just now that I was probably going to have a problem. But aha, so you can see with my troubleshooting, I just tried pulling some of the bad loops off, and voila, we are back in business. Yes, honey? Your light will turn green in a little bit, and then nap time will be over. If you have a question, go ask Daddy. He's upstairs, okay? This is why I don't normally go live during nap time. He interrupted last night, too. Oh, man. But I'm glad that the sound and everything seems to be okay. There'll just be, I think, some growing pains as I work out exactly how all this works. But the good news is I can tell you that from winding this, I'm not feeling any sprinkles on the yarn. So after the overnight soak, everything really did eventually dissolve or get pulled off from the numerous rinses. So that's a really good thing. But I'm hoping to figure out more things that I can do with the new camera. And maybe I spoke too soon. Did I feel? Aha. All right. And all the yarn, I got one tiny little, you can barely see, sprinkle. So fine, there was one left. Oh, hello Australia. Yeah, but I think that giving a knitting teacher some yarn that one of the pupils dyed would be fun. And so here is the yarn caked. You can see that those color changes actually look a lot more regular now than they did when it was in the skein, because the colors are spread out a bit more. And yeah, I think that this will knit up and be really, really, really cool. Used big pearl sprinkles and it was a disaster. So the thing that I should have done differently when I was doing this one is I should have put it, after I was done microwaving it, I should have put it straight in warm water to help things dissolve. I did on a live stream a candy. I dyed with, hard candies and Skittles and all kinds of stuff. And all that candy dissolved eventually. It just needed the warm water to help it. So I think the washing in cool water just didn't really help things much. So putting it in a warm rinse bath a couple times will help things dissolve faster. But yeah, I think that this is really, really pretty. Do any of you have any sense if this camera is doing better quality-wise versus the cell phone? The cell phone's a little easier to set up, but also I'm kind of used to it at this point. The webcam, I think I have the settings pretty good now, but I am curious about the whole DVR aspect. Okay, so it looks like I'm now testing this on myself. I paused the live stream and yeah, I guess you can pause it and you might even be able to go, yeah, you can go backwards in time. Oh, cool. All right, so that's pretty worth it. I just went backwards in time on myself on the laptop. Good. I'm glad you guys like the camera. But I think that this yarn is so, so cool. Okay, so if this is better, so much more clear, and the sound is clearer too, great. Because it's hard to tell when things look, because when I'm filming on the phone, things look super clear while I'm doing it, and then when I look at the playback, it just isn't quite as good. But I think that when I'm seeing on the website is a bit closer actually to what I see on the camera, and so that's pretty nice. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to better deal with seeing the chat. It's like I almost need to have a second computer or something around to do it. Or I just need a second webcam. Because for spinning, wouldn't it be nice if I had like one webcam, like with a better close view of the spinning, and then another one where like I could look into and speak to you? So, oh no, there's a slight voice delay. There was a major voice delay earlier, and that was, oh, I'm kind of seeing it now. Because when I'm seeing directly, maybe it's because I was messing with, I'll close this one watch window, and I should check here as well. Okay, so it says the live now, and it shows that in many places. I see. Okay, I can probably edit that. Sorry, I was just looking at the channel. Oh, I'm glad to give inspiration. It only cropped up when I went back, but is it better now? So I just closed some of the windows where I was watching this, because what I was also doing right now is a test to see whether how I can schedule events with the system, and if I schedule the event and people are waiting there when I start the live stream, does it actually show up in the place where I scheduled the event? Oh, good. I'm glad that it's better now. All right, so now I have I wish maybe there's a way that I can pop out the chat, and maybe I can figure out how to do that. That is something that I will need to explore. I mean, I almost need like a tech on hand, uh, but yeah, to help with some of these logistics because it's hard for me to do what I'm doing and then manage the camera and stuff at the same time. Now, you might wonder what I'm doing now because I am about to cake a skein of bare yarn. Can any of you guess what I might be planning to do with it? Who's the other dude? Here we go. So I am going to do some cake dyeing with the worsted weight yarn. And it's funny, I haven't done one of my cake dyeing experiments in a long time. One of the last ones I did was actually with Lucas. And one of the things I didn't even realize was that I was getting different results because from some of the original videos, whether I was using superwash yarn or not. And that's something that didn't even occur to me years ago when I first started doing the cake dyeing experiments. And so I have some leftover dye because I did some snow dyeing yesterday since we got over a foot of snow out here. And there's some dye that seeped through from that. And so I'm like, I don't want to throw it out. So I'm going to use it to dye some yarn. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I didn't notice at first, like when I was saying this, I was like, oh, they'll be on the stream. But I actually made, and I actually don't know where they are. I made some Pride wristbands this year. And so I've got some patterns for that on the channel, or not on the channel, on the Chemnitz website, chemnitz.com. And so, oops, I keep forgetting that I want to do this very, very loosely. The cake dyeing, if you haven't watched any of those videos, is when you wind the yarn into a cake and then you add it to a dye bath. And so you'll end up with a cool asymmetrical yarn because the yarn that's on the outside will have more access to the dye than the yarn that's on the inside of the cake. And you might see some breaking through it or some pale colors in the center. And it's just a lot of fun. But I don't think have I done it with worsted? I must have done it with worsted weight yarn. I can't remember. Did Lucas help me with one of the cakes? No, maybe not. I don't think I've done it with worsted weight yarn, but sometimes you guys know better what I've done than I do. Yeah, the patterns, they must have come out in June or something. Love Knitting, which is a yarn retailer, they reached out to me and actually gave me the yarns that I used for the projects. And so that was really nice because I was like, well, I'm planning to do these Pride projects. Would you guys like to, mind if I mentioned that you guys gave me the yarn specifically for that? And they were more than happy to. So I thought like Pride and then Love Knitting it was like a nice little mesh. Yeah, I think that the new camera is nice. I like that I can do that people can pause or go back if they missed the beginning of the live stream. You can watch it on a bit of a delay because I'm using not using the phone. So thank you, Little Bean, for the camera recommendation. It took me a while to get it set up, and I think I might have some audio sync issues. But anyway, I have now live caked some bare yarn that I will go dye probably pretty soon. You can pre-soak the cakes, but I found that it didn't really make a huge difference if I started dry or if I pre-soaked. But the leftover dye that I have is a teal. So I'm not necessarily expecting a ton of breaking, but maybe we'll see something interesting. Oh, good. I'm glad that the quality is good because that's one of the reasons why I needed to actually come on like with a public one so that way I could test and check like how everything was working. And then yeah, I should go and like take a screenshot of all the settings so that way I know that that's what works. But if you just tuned in and aren't going back in time, this cake is from the yarn that I dyed. Well, the new video this morning. And so my 4-year-old Lucas dumped a lot of sprinkles on this 100% wool, 100% Peruvian Highland wool yarn. And so now it's in a nice cake for us to give as a gift to one of his teachers. And so I hope that she'll really like the yarn. Yeah, so thank you all for tuning in and helping me out with this test. I hope that you guys all will have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, I'll be still doing some tests and trying to schedule some live events coming up. And so bear with me as I'm trying to learn the new system so I can use the new camera. But it has a really long cord, so I can put it on my tripod and all kinds of stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just wish that I could see the video on the camera itself, because that's what I'm used to. And then I actually look more at the camera. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, everybody stay warm. It's going to get really cold outside. I am tempted to get another bucket of snow before it gets too cold to maybe do a little more snow dyeing with, maybe I'll do a time lapse or something. But yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you. Have I tried the Zoom? No, I haven't tried the Zoom yet. I'm a little, I have, maybe I'll test that not live. I want to screenshot all my settings before I mess around with trying to Zoom from it and stuff. Because if I Zoom and then, because when I was trying to scroll through the settings, it was actually changing the settings. And I think that's might be why I had some issues at the beginning. But anyway, I will try to play around with the Zoom function in the future. And I'm excited for a bunch of new possibilities. So I hope that everyone has a wonderful weekend. And I hope that I can start filming some videos before Lucas's light turns green and he comes down from nap. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Goodbye.